Another day, another talk with our own favorite talk show, Punta Historian, where we delve deeply into the key events of the Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule, highlighting the historical significance of the Pugadlawin, Balintawak, and Bahay Toro. Today, we will explore the events that shaped the Filipino fight for freedom.
Here's a few questions from our netizens. It seems like they are really curious about the past.
Good day, Philippines! Good day, world! I am your host, Jaira Joan Dichon, together with
Vic Jason Kaime.
and today we are taking you to the journey of the fearless and brave Filipino revolutionaries way back 1896, who took their bold steps toward independence from Spanish rule.
Before we delve into the details, let's revisit the time period when this significant event happened. In the late 1800s, the Philippines was under the Spanish colonial rule, marked by oppressive governance and exploitation. The desire for freedom and self-determination among Filipinos, leading to the formation of various revolutionary movements.
We have a very special guest with us today. She's a historian, author, and all-around expert on Philippine history. Please welcome Professor Georgina D. Magiba.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm thrilled to be here and share my knowledge about Philippine history, especially the cry of Balintawak.
Let's get right into that. Professor Georgina, can you tell us what exactly the cry of Balintawak was and why is it so significant?
Absolutely. The cry of Balintawak took place on August 23, 1896, when Andres Bonifacio and the Katipunan, a secret revolutionary society, gathered to declare their intention to revolt against Spanish colonial rule. It marked the official start of the Philippine Revolution, a monumental monument in our quest for independence.
So, what are the Filipinos doing at Balintawak? Were they having a secret meeting or a rally?
Great question. They were indeed having a secret meeting, but it was more than just a chit-chat. This gathering was about serious plans for revolution. They discussed grievances against Spanish oppression, their desire to reform, and ultimately, independence.
Sounds intense. Was there a specific reason why they chose Balintawak?
Yes, Balintawak was strategically located and served as a gathering point for many members of the Katipunan. It provided a sense of security away from the prying eyes of the Spanish authorities.
I can picture it, like a secret clubhouse for freedom fighters.
Exactly. During the meeting, Bonifacio took a dramatic step that would damage or change the history. He tore up his cedula, which was residence certificate required by the Spanish. The act symbolized a rejection of Spanish authority.
Tearing the cedula was like throwing your driver's license in the trash as a sign of rebellion.
That's a fun way to put it, like it was a public declaration of defiance, a statement that they would no longer abide by laws imposed upon them by the colonizers.
And this moment became known as the cry of Balintawak, right?
Exactly. It's often referred to as the cry of Balintawak or the cry of Pugadlawin, as there is some debate about the exact location. Regardless, it became a rallying cry for Filipinos everywhere.
Speaking of debate, I've heard there's a bit of controversy regarding the exact details of this event. Can you shed some light on that?
Yes, there is quite a bit of historical debate. Different sources have various accounts of the events, and the exact date and location have been the subject of discussion among historians. Some argue it took place in Pugadlawin, while others insist of Balintawak.
So, it's like trying to pinpoint where the best lechon is. Everyone has different opinion.
Exactly, but despite these discrepancies, what's crucial in the impact of the event had on the broader revolutionary movement.
Before proceeding further to our discussion, let's have a short break. We'll be back in a while.
Hi, hello,
narapod mi diri para sa atong question, answer, para, and trivia segment. Ready na ba mo mananaw?
So ngayon, nandito kami sa E-Park, Tagum City para maghanap ng random people na among i-question.
So now we diri karon para mag-ask of random questions about Philippine history. So first, what's your name and from what school are you?
Kaiser del Mariana from USEP Tagumabini Campus po.
So what month and year did the Balintawak unfold?
August 1896.
Correct! So his answer is correct. So meron ka 10 pesos.
So po, from Tagum City Regional Academy, fourth year high school in Corti Crush. Okay. So, this is a very common and easy question. Who lead the Katipunan? Andres Bonifacio.
Correct! So meron ka 10 pesos. Thank you!
I'm Ingalden Alencho from P-Crush.
For your question, so, who documented the event of Ugadlawin in Puerto Rico, providing invaluable insight into the circumstances and emotions of the biblical moment?
If I remember correctly, it was Pia Valenzuela yata. Yeah, Pio. Ami Pia.
Sorry po.
Pia Valenzuela.
I'm Angelica Resurrection from St. Mary's College, Taco.
For your question, in what year did the Philippines was controlled by the Spanish?
1800s?
Her answer is correct! Meron siyang 10 pesos! Thank you po!
Hello po, can I ask what's your name and from what school are you po?
So I am Hody Dirafanan Jr. and I'm from University of Southeast.
And for your question, the place in the Philippines where a significant event took place during Philippine Revolution against Spanish colonial rule.
His answer is correct! Meron siyang 10 pesos! Thank you po! And that's the end of our question, answer, para trivia segment. This has been your host. My name is Micaela Durano. And I am Daniel de Guzman. See you again next week. Goodbye!
Welcome back, Hyundai Historian! Now, we will continue discussing the cry of Balintawak.
So, how did the cry of Balintawak influence other Filipinos? Did it inspire them to join the fight?
Absolutely. The cry of Balintawak served as a catalyst. It energized many Filipinos who were already discontented with Spanish rule. Once they heard about the gathering and the dramatic acts of defiance, many were inspired to join the Katipunan and take up arms.
Was it just men joining, or were women involved too?
Great point. Women played a significant role in the revolution. Figures like Gabriela Silang and Teresa Magbanua were key contributors. They helped organize, gather supplies, and even fought alongside men in battles. The revolution was truly a collective effort.
Wow, it sounds like the women were just as fierce as the men.
Exactly. The revolution was a grassroots movement with contributions from all sectors of society.
What were some of the major battles that followed the cry of Balintawak?
Following the cry of Balintawak, there were numerous significant battles, including the Battle of San Juan del Monte, which was one of the first major confrontations. Other notable battles occurred in Cavite, Batangas, and Manila. Each of these engagements was pivotal in the struggle of independence.
So, It wasn't just a one-time event. It sparked a series of fights.
Yes, the revolution became a sustained struggle, characterized by both victories and setbacks. Bonifacio, for example, faced challenges from within the Katipunan as disagreements once arose about leadership and tactics.
So, there were family feuds within the revolutionary family?
Exactly. Bonifacio eventually lost the leadership to Emilio Aguinaldo, who had a more strategic approach to the revolution. But Bonifacio's legacy remains vital to our national identity.
That's a bit of a plot twist. But it sounds like Aguinaldo also played a crucial role. Can you tell us more about him?
Certainly, Emilio Aguinaldo was initially a follower of Bonifacio, but rose to prominence due to his military strategy. He eventually led the Philippines forces in several successful battles and later became the first president of the Philippines after declaring independence from Spanish rule on June 12, 1898.
So, Aguinaldo was like quarterback of the revolution, throwing touchdown passes to victory?
That's a fun analogy. He played a key role in organizing and leading troops, securing victories that were essential to the movement.
Now, it's interesting to note that while the revolution was successful in declaring independence, it didn't end with freedom. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, that's a crucial aspect of our history. After declaring independence, the Philippines faced a new challenge: colonization by the United States. This marked the beginning of another struggle, as many Filipinos fought against American rule in what became known as the Philippine-American War.
Talk about dramatic sequence.
Indeed, it was a tumultuous period where many Filipinos realized that their fight for sovereignty was far from over.
How do we keep the spirit of Balintawak alive today?
We can honor it by educating ourselves and future generations about history. Monuments, educational programs, and public commemoration help keep the memory of those brave revolutionaries alive.
And what about the youth today? Can they relate to the spirit of Balintawak?
Absolutely. The themes of justice, freedom, and equality resonate just as strongly today. Young Filipinos often face their own struggles and challenges, and the spirit of the revolution can inspire them to stand up for what they believe in.
That's a great message. Now, let's lighten things up a bit. Professor, do you have any fun anecdotes from your research on the cry of Balintawak?
Oh, definitely. One amusing tidbit is that many of the revolutionary leaders were not just fighters, but also poets and writers. For instance, Bonifacio had a knack for writing poems that expressed his longing for freedom. He could switch from sword to pen effortlessly.
So, he was the original right fighter?
Exactly. They really knew how to mix art and activism.
That's a fantastic way to inspire people. So, what's the takeaway from all of this?
The Cry of Balintawak is a testament to the courage, unity, and determination of Filipinos in their quest for freedom. It shows us that collective action and standing up for one's belief can lead to monumental change.
Powerful words, Professor.
Yes, thank you for sharing your insights today. You have helped us understand the depth and significance of the Cry of Balintawak.
Thank you for having me here. Remembering history is not just a record of the past, it's a guide to the future.
Listeners, for joining us today. Don't forget to check out our next episode where we will explore more fascinating stories about Philippine history.
Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.